Hey everybody, it's Zafir from No Love Lost 2.0 and welcome back. So today I just want to sit here and tell you guys a little story about some things that I was just told recently. So I always talk about how people in my life tend to come to me and ask for advice and ask for, solutions. And I try to do my best to give them as much knowledge as I may have, but what it comes down to is people are going to do what they want to do. And I don't get mad at anybody for doing what they feel is best for themselves, but it gets a little redundant after a while. If you are seeing that a person has a repeat behavior, what do you do with that after a while? Do you continue to include yourself in the bullshit if it's not good for you? Yes, a lot of people do. I have a friend right now who I don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. I just can be an ear to that person. Like they continue to tell me stories about basically a situation with a friend of theirs, how the person continues to try to have sexual relations with them and they don't want to do that. They just want to be their friend. And I'm like this. I'm always going to support my friend. I'm always going to listen to you. I'm always going to have your back. But I'm not at the same time, I'm not mad at it, but I'm just like, too many times we just got to stop playing in our own face. Like, you can't keep blaming the world or blaming people for their actions when you allow them to continue the behavior. And what we do is we tend to just shy it away and just say, oh, we have longevity, right? I have also another friend who, they've been on and off again with a guy for like years at this point, and they don't know how to stop that situation. But at the same time, you do, because, you choose to be happy, you choose to be sad when it comes to a certain degree, when you allow somebody to play in your face. When you allow somebody to continue to take advantage and get the upper hand on you, then at the same time, what you have to understand is you played a role in the hurt that you may receive from that situation. You cannot continue to sit here and make everybody the reason for your unhappiness or your sadness, or they're not stepping up to the plate. When your mama didn't show up for your graduation when you was in elementary, that was somebody showing you they couldn't step up to the plate. You get what I'm saying? A lot of the times we take childhood trauma and take things and we put them in relationships and friendships, or relationships and our partners or our other family members. We try to divert from them and go elsewhere, but at the same time we always fall back and fall victim to the situation because we haven't healed from it. I just feel like you cannot sit up here and blame everybody for the reasons why they do what they do to you when you allow it. The day that you stop allowing people to play in your face is the day you start being selfish to yourself, in the sense of you have to be selfish for yourself. You can't allow everybody to be in your space. It's just like me. I don't let everybody know where I live. I'm a big advocate in not letting everybody know where you live, where you work. I will not. Most people don't know where I work. They just know I work. Most people don't know where I live. They just know we meet up and we link up in an area of close to my home vicinity. Because why? Everybody is not supposed to be in those spaces. Those spaces are sometimes separated for a reason. I also have another friend, right? He been talking to this girl for months. He been helping her out with her kids and all this. And I'm just like, at the same time, he always screaming, oh, I want love for me. I want love for me. You want love for yourself? You got to love yourself, by yourself, for yourself, selfishly about yourself first. Because the ultimate love is God's love and then your love for yourself. And if you allow people to continue to play in your face, and then you sit up here and want to play a victim and cry about it, nah, you being a little witch for that. You being a little witch, because you are sitting here trying to victimize yourself. Everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be a victim. I know I have wanted to be a victim before. I feel like everybody has put themselves in situations where we wanted to be the one not at fault, but we didn't want to at the same time deal with the situation in a certain way. We didn't want the responsibility of being the one who caused the disrupt, but at the same time, we all sit there and get mad that the situation keeps getting disrupted and we're not happy in it. And that's just what it comes down to. We're not happy because we continue to allow these things to go on. So like my friend, like when he be sitting here talking about how he want love, I at the same time, I just be like, bruh, do you? Because you got to love you, bruh. You got to love you. And then the other thing that be killing me about certain friends is like they be sitting here saying they want love and sitting here talking to one person and then talking to another. How you gonna sit here? You cannot have a life that you want if you not living it. You can't sit up here and say, "Oh, I just want to I just want love and I want somebody to care about me faithfully and honestly and respectfully." But you're not giving that back. What you put out into the world, it comes back. It's like a boomerang. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful because things will come back and hit you right back in the face. And then you sitting there victimized, making yourself the victim to the situation. Like, oh, I'm just so sad. I'm just so mad. Nobody cares. Nobody gets it. No, you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get that you keep playing in your own face and then now you're mad. Then back to it's just like, go ahead with the bullshit because sometimes, like, I have, like, one of my friends, he has, like, met one woman that when I tell you I loved her for him, I was like, that's a wife. Like, I told bro, I was like, that's a wife. Are you ready for what that takes? Because with that being a wife, she not about to play with you. She not about to play with you. She gonna get the fuck going if that shit ain't right. And that's what was the situation. And then it's just like they keep going back and forth. And then I have another delusional friend. Like, every time he meets somebody and he has sex with them, he think they supposed to be in a relationship or that the person is losing out. Baby, it was just sex. Take it for what it was and move on. like, are we seriously putting emotions into one night stands? Is that what we're doing now, people? Like, are we seriously feeling like a good fuck deserves a lifetime? Sometimes it do, but that has to be reciprocated. And if it's not, then you move on. You sitting over here making posts on social media about a one night stand. What the hell? Like, and I mean, these people that I am having these either I'm still friends with or I'm not friends with, it's like they sit up here and it's like they don't care that they play themselves. They like it. And the biggest thing is I like sex. Who don't like sex that is involved in sex? But do you let sex, let me ask y'all a question because I want people to comment and tell me how y'all feel. Because I feel like some of my friends, it's like, damn, y'all ain't never had good pussy. Y'all ain't never had good dick. Like y'all letting that shit make y'all that delusional? You know what I mean? Like, I literally had a dude tell me before, like, I was dating this guy for 4.5 years. I think it was after the first year we got into it. And he was like, I don't care how good your dick is. I'll still leave you. And I was like, what? Like, I never used me in your relationship, our sexual relationship, as a pawn to say, oh, like, yeah, you gotta basically follow and fall suit into what I want. No, that's why when he said it, I was like, bro, where the hell did that come from? What are you talking about? I never ever made you feel like, oh yeah, because we have a good time together and we are in a relationship that, you know, you're gonna stay around and deal with and put up with whatever. No. I always tell anybody this. There's only one person that I ever dated that I played in their face. Like, when I say I played in this person's face, I can honestly say to this day that is the only person that could feel some type of way about me, and I wouldn't even be mad at it because I would be like, you know what, you got that. I hope they over that situation because it's been well over 12 years. I was like 19 or 20 when I met them, and I'm 33 now, so I'm like, you know, like, I would hope they over it, but if they weren't, I would understand because I was an asshole. I was a cheater. I was a liar to them. You know, I was 19. I had no business being in a committed situation, knowing that I never even knew what it was to see committed situations. My parents haven't been together since I think before. I don't even know if it was before I was born. Like, I've never seen my parents even date because they've been split. You know, but at the same time, they had a co-parenting relationship that sometimes was bad and sometimes it was good. So I would honestly say the older we got, the better it got because my parents didn't have to communicate, because if we needed anything, we'll just say, hey dad, I need X, Y, and Z for school, or hey dad, I need this. So a lot of the times we don't see healthy relationships growing up, or even if we do, we don't know how to demonstrate and communicate those behaviors in an appropriate fashion that everybody is heard. You know, a lot of the times we want to either be the victim or we want to be heard. And what we have to understand is the way that we were taught is not always the way that we should go about living. You have to raise a child to the best of your abilities. You can do the best. You can live in a rich neighborhood. You can give your child everything, and they still can come out as a piece of shit, because that's just life. I know people who parents are both doctors and they out here on heroin. They out here on drugs. And it's just like, why are you like that? But at the same time, I don't know everything that you've been through. And I don't know that being that your parents may have put you in a space of financial security, that meant that they were also emotionally available. Because I always tell people just having money is not going to make a child, it's going to give them opportunities, but it's not going to sit up here and be the end all be all of the situation for a child. It's not going to give them that emotional training that they need. Children need to be trained. They need to know that somebody cares. They need to know that somebody cares about how they feel. Because a lot of the times people just sit here and say, oh, that's a child. And they take their feelings and they just be like, they dismiss them. And that's not right. We have to take responsibility that for raising the next generation, we have to be accountable and listen to their feelings. We can't be those children who are seen and not heard. That's not this day and era. And I think that when I look at a lot of my friends, I see a lot of childhood trauma that is unhealed, still stuck. And don't get me wrong, I've had childhood trauma. I've been through situations in life where, I've been SA before. I have been, beat on before, like extensively, that was not appropriate by my parents, not so my dad, because my dad really didn't whoop us. I think my dad hit me like one time and like maybe two, but that's it. So whatever the case may be, I just was like, you know what it comes down to is I just will be here to support them. I will be here to love them. I will be there to have their back. But we have to stop being delusional, people. Like I tell people, therapy is key. I've been in therapy before. I'm in therapy now. And guess what? It has literally healed the child in me. But it's not always going to work like that for everyone. But it has worked like that for me. But a lot of people don't know. They hold on to resentment for their parents or for certain things that have transpired. And then they take that into their adult life and they don't have the ability to be accountable. So I just wanted to talk about that today. It's all about accountability. And I just want everyone to take accountability for self, meaning stop victimizing yourself. Have some self-power, self-respect, self-improvement. Put some energy into yourself that you're not sitting up here playing yourself. This is Affair from No Love Lost 2.0. You could also stream all episodes on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, as well as YouTube. Make sure you guys check out my podcast on all platforms, as well as my YouTube, No Love Lost 2.0, and you will get all types of contents of me dancing, laughing, having time with my family and friends, and just enjoying life. I continue to do this podcast because I love doing it. At one point, I didn't want to do the podcast, not because I didn't like doing it, but because it's just I have a lot going on in my life with building my own business as well as working, for another company. So, and then building my own brands and getting licensed for certain things. So with that being said, I want you guys to continue to support me and continue to show that love. Make sure if you listen to my podcast and you get to the end that you share this podcast in your story or on your Facebook. I would really greatly appreciate it. Continue to show that love to yourself. And remember, it's one love.